The new Zurich ZR13. Harbor Freight is pushing these hard right now. For my regular subscribers, this is not one of my traditional videos, so be sure to check back soon as we continue our normal exploration episodes. However, I do own older vehicles and must put extra effort into maintaining them. In order to be able to save money for recreating and doing other things like creating these videos, I perform much of the basic tasks myself. While in my early years, I did spend a couple years in automotive school, but I am not an ASE certified mechanic, nor am I professional in this area. Rather, I'm just a guy out in my driveway doing what I can, and probably some things that I shouldn't. So with that in mind, let's get started. The new Zurich ZR13, that's what we'll be reviewing today. You've most likely seen it from all of Harbor Freight's most recent advertising, including their magazine ads and emailers. And after some subsequent research, I decided to give the ZR13 a chance. I specifically picked up the ZR13 because my vehicle was throwing a number of codes, some in the areas of which the normal cheaper scanners cannot read. So in order to scan deeper into the vehicle, I needed something a little more advanced. And with the price point of Harbor Freight plus the return abilities, I thought I'd give this one a shot. Let's see, user manual. Operating a vehicle indoors can kill you in minutes. Pretty standard. It's actually well written. I don't immediately see any grammar issues, and for me that's kind of comforting. And now what we've all been waiting for, slice. First impressions, it's kind of light, but it feels good. Has these nice rubber grips on the side. The fitment of the parts seems pretty decent. Serial port on the top, which adapts to the OBD-II port cable. The buttons are soft, but not necessarily in a bad way. Here we have our USB port to hook up to your computer on the bottom. Let's get this compartment door off and install the batteries. Upon startup, you can see that the end of the OBD-II cable lights up with a neat little LED to help locate your DLC underneath the dash. That's a really nice feature. DLC, or otherwise known as a data link connector locator, is a nifty option which will help direct you to where the OBD connector is in the car. You can see that it goes up to 2016. The firmware may be outdated, so I will try to update this later. Here we have a key for the various monitor icons. These are the icons that will illuminate on the top of the display on the home screen if the vehicle supports it. I turned off the audible tone because it got old real quick. Language selection, measure of units, and a few other things I don't really care about. So let's go outside and plug this into the old Tahoe and see what's going on. Linking to the vehicle. Looks like we're now connected. Let's go in and read some of the basic codes. Looks like a couple fuel system issues, and that button's a little sensitive. A couple different fuel system codes. A few different things could be causing this, and I'll look into that later. Here's the area I'm interested in. There is a problem with the StabiliTrak intermittently disabling itself, so let's scan the ABS system. As you can see, it's located a couple different codes. Looks like one to notify the StabiliTrak has been disabled in the past, and the second to notify that the root of the problem, which has to do with the steering position sensor. I'll probably end up pulling the steering column out and swapping the sensor to see if that fixes the problem. While we have it connected, let's see what else this can do. Usually scanners have the ability to give live readings of various sensors around the car, and as you can see, these are real-time readings. There are more advanced features available, such as these graphs, which allow a visual log of the sensor readings. I probably won't end up using any of these for my purposes, but it's neat to have that feature available in case I did need it. This is interesting. Here we can test the battery. Let's give that a shot. And that's a relief. Okay, we're back inside. As you can see, this device is able to store the codes from the previous sessions. This is handy, especially on a day like today when it's cold outside and you want to read the codes and bring them inside to research. The manual does give a web address for support. I'd like to see if there's a newer version of the firmware. As you go into the web address, this is unexpected. It takes us directly to the product on the Harbor Freight site. This took me a few minutes, but if you go to these tabs at the bottom, there is a link to the manual. And there is a link to download the firmware as well. Starting up the program prompts to install some prereqs. I have some kind of printer warning. I'll go ahead and hook up the scanner now with the provided USB cord. And it doesn't look like there is any updates. However, if there were, this utility supposedly downloads the firmware and provides steps to install to the scanner. My final thoughts. Well, for the price, this seems like a decent buy. So far, it's done everything I needed to. As mentioned, I'm not a professional automotive technician, but since the filming of this footage, I've used it several times without issue. I do have a concern, and that's this lens or this surface material. Seems kind of cheap. If I rub my nail on it, it does leave a pretty good mark that appears to be permanent. It just seems fragile, so it's probably best to be ginger with this unit. I purchased the extended 1-year warranty on this unit just in case. I'll definitely be using it a fair amount, both on my vehicle and a variety of other friends' vehicles. So my recommendations is to keep it in a safe place, try not to scratch it, and it'll probably be good for a long time. However, I did notice this doesn't work on my 91 4Runner, or my Toro lawnmower, or my string trimmer, or this spare tire, or this kite, or this squatch, or my cat, or my hat. So make sure your device has an OBD-II port before you purchase. Don't forget to comment below, and please hit that subscribe button. We do full exploration episodes all around Montana and beyond. And as always, thank you for watching.